It's week 9 of the NFL. And coming up next is the Jets' sure-handed wide receiver. Big plays follow him around. He comes in second in the NFL in receiving yards. It's the Jets and the Bills. Next
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game,
And we are underway in Buffalo. And able to get this out to the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Here's Nix to throw right away. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
They'll try the left side. Bagley. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down. Up the middle they go. Bagley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
You talk about this Jets defense.
They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out, because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
Nix to the air. And this one complete again to Mims. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Marvin Mims, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills are on the board first here this afternoon.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great effort there.
His 2nd second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first-quarter lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a peek at the man under center. He has 5 full years in the league under his belt, now in year number 6.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
On the counter, it's Hall. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Jets at 7-1 now on the year. And they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And as much as we hate to play this game, you know I'm going to do it anyway. Extrapolate that over a full season. What does that come out to, partner? 14-2. And anyone in the NFL, they'd sign up for that record, that's for sure.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll find Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Off the bootleg. Coleman. He'll buy some time right. That'll be caught downfield by Morton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A Jet first. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll run on first down. It's Lucas. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Coleman. Over the middle, complete. It's Morton. It'll be a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down. Coleman. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Back to throw. Coleman. He's got room at the 30. He's got room to roam. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Hey, nothing to see here. Just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Gregory Rousseau able to bring him down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Coleman. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Franklin. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
To throw, here's Nix.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so he can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy sideline, right?
Sammy sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Back to the air with Nix.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's it's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 20-yard line. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that earns them a fresh set of downs. Here's Nix. And he's got his man on the out route. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Now it's Nix. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Bills are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Touchdown, Bills! A 5-yard touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Jets offense, led by their wide receiver, headed out for their second possession. And he's very much alive in the race for most receiving yards by a wideout this year. Currently ranked second in the NFL at this point in the season.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they're on a first or a second seed come playoff time.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
And it's Tommy Adebawore, the one who got in there for the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Coleman. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Coleman. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on the punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Nix from the shotgun.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. To throw is Nix.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at about the 14. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Throwing to start the drive. Coleman. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Another go-around now for the Jets offense.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes it quick.
And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Bagley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Back to throw. Nix. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Call it a gain of a yard. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. One-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. In motion, the tight end.
Running left, it's Hall.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Operating from the gun, Coleman. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Lucas. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Oh, how about this on first and goal? And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. From 8 yards out, and the Jets have cut it back within a score. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And this one is caught. So they come up with a 2-point conversion, and that makes this a 1-point game now. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here are the Bills to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Looking to throw. Nix. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Here's 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And they've clawed their way back into this game. First half, they were down pretty big. Now, all of a sudden, we've got a ball game. How have they done it?
First thing is what you just talked about, clawing their way back in. That means they've decided to go ahead and fight this thing out, which is great. The second part is they looked at where the problems were in the first half, figured out how to shore them up, and have now gone to that part of the playbook that is actually working for them. A few adjustments, a few changes, and really good execution.
Now we'll see if that trend can continue.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Operating from the gun. Coleman flushed out right. They'll get this into the hands of Morton. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, Lucas. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Back to throw. Coleman. It's complete to Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Lucas.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And the slot man goes in motion left. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Caught out left side by Robinson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, it's Lucas. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll try and run for it. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. They'll look to throw now on first down. A throw caught here by Morton. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. They'll give to Hall. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
He's back to throw. And he's got it.
Here we go. The noise deafening. 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Hall. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So the Bills now down by 4, a little under 40 seconds to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Franklin. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
That's taken in by Franklin. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Back to throw. He'll get that complete to Franklin. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Jets are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my